Good afternoon, and welcome to our inductees, family, friends, teachers, past and present, district staff, and Upper Darby High School students to the 16th Wall of Fame induction ceremony. I am Kelly Simone, principal of Upper Darby High School. It is my pleasure to be with you today to honor alumni who seized opportunities at Upper Darby High School and beyond to achieve excellence in their respective fields. This great biannual tradition began in 1979 and it includes 76 distinguished alumni since 1995. We missed last year and did not want to let another year pass without recognizing deserving alumni and continuing to provide our current students with examples of success. This is the first time we've had virtual inductees, but there have been many firsts in the past 19 months. Joining us today in person, we have 2 local inductees, and joining us via Google Meet, we have alumni from New York, Florida, California, and across the globe in Tanzania. Please enjoy the unique stories of our 6 new inductees for the Upper Darby High School Wall of Fame, each so deserving of this honor. At this time, the chair of the Wall of Fame Committee, Laura Fitty, will now introduce our guests.
Good afternoon. I would like to welcome the Upper Darby School District School Board members who have come to honor a new group of inductees to our Wall of Fame. If you could please stand to be recognized. President of the Upper Darby School Board, Mr. Ed Brown. Vice President, Mrs. Gina Curry. And School Board Member, Mrs. Rachel Mitchell. We would also like to recognize our central administration staff here with us today, including Dr. Daniel McGarry, Superintendent, Ms. Christine Kelly, Director of Curriculum, Dr. Greg Manfrey, Director of Special Education. Secondary Education, as I say that. Ms. Aranda Buford is not here with us today, but she sends her well wishes, and Dr. Chris Puglisi, Director of Pupil Services. Also, a big thank you to the Wall of Fame Selection Committee, including Steve Bell, class of 74, former guidance counselor, Bev Rohr, class of 48 and Wall of Fame member, Debbie Beck, former president of the Home and School and UDESPA. Thank you to Liz McDonald, former chair and mastermind of the Wall of Fame, and Dave Cupsey, class of 91, current social studies teacher here, and he has been greatly instrumental in getting this off the ground this year. We welcome the friends, family, and alumni, as well as our former teachers of our inductees in attendance and those viewing on our YouTube channel. For those students viewing in the classroom, we hope you are inspired by the determination and success of our inductees and their impact on the world. In your programs, please find the biographies of our inductees as well as the QR code to view our website with past winners. And now, Mrs. Benglian and the Encore Singers.
The piece that we will perform for you today is called Give Me Wings, and the lyrics of the song are so fitting for this occasion. It's saying, give me the eyes of tomorrow and let me see what I can find. If you lead, I will follow. Give me wings to reach the sky, because moving up, I'm rising high. Give me wings to fly. And I present to you the Encore Singers of 2021-22. Thank you.
I've been looking around, there's a whole new world I see, and so many things that I can do with the strength in me. Now I ask you to hear, now I ask as I sing of brighter days, for I need to have you very near. Come and guide the way. Give me the wings. brother's hand as he's passing by. Give me the eyes of tomorrow, let me see what I can find. If you lead me, I will follow now. Give me wings to fly. You've been watching me grow, and you gently lead me on. It's your love and power that I know guides and keeps me strong.
Now I ask you to hear.
Now I ask as I sing of brighter days, for I need to have you very near. Come and guide the way.
Give me the wings.
Give me the wings of an eagle. I will soar into the sky. Give me strength to hold a brother's hand as he's passing by.
Give me the
Eyes of tomorrow, let me see what I can find. If you lead me, I will follow now. Give me wings to fly. High above the clouds, I can see the beauty down below.
And I know you're holding me.
I will never fly alone, alone.
Give me the wings.
Give me the wings of an eagle. I will soar into the sky. Give me strength to hold a brother's hand as he's passing by.
Give me the
Give me the eyes of tomorrow, let me see what I can find. If you lead me, I will follow now. Give me wings to reach the sky, moving up and rising high. Give me wings to fly.
We will now begin our inductions for the 2021 Wall of Fame. The members will be introduced by members of the committee and their former teachers as well. Professor Thomas Schaefer is our first inductee. Upper Darby salutes Thomas Schaefer, class of 1963, and proudly inducts him into our Wall of Fame. Tom attended St. Charles Elementary School prior to UDHS. While at Upper Darby, he played football, baseball, and ran track. Tom developed strong interest in both math and science here and continued his education at Drexel University, earning his undergraduate and doctorate degrees. He began his career at Penn State University as an instructor in the Department of Engineering and completed his postdoctoral work at Temple University as a professor of physiology and pediatrics at the Sidney Kimmel School of Medicine, Thomas Jefferson University. He is currently the director of the Center for Pediatric Lung Research and associate director of the biomedical research at the Alfred I. DuPont Hospital for Children. Tom's revolutionary research on respiratory distress syndrome is known worldwide and has bridged the disciplines of applied mathematics, engineering, and medicine. Professor Schaefer is most well known for his work using oxygen-rich inert liquid for breathing. His work and revolutionary concept was featured in the movie The Abyss, as well as the book The Lost Symbol. He led the first clinical trial with liquid ventilation in premature infants with respiratory distress. He has published numerous books, chapters, and reviews, and has mentored graduate students and fellows. He continues to be a featured lecturer at international and national medical conferences and has received numerous awards for his work. Please join me in congratulating Professor Thomas Schaefer.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and I hope you're all doing well, even though I can't see you out there. I would, first of all, like to thank the Principal, Simone, and the Wall of Fame Committee for selecting me to be included in this notable inductees ceremony. And that was a lovely performance by the choral group. We greatly appreciate that. In particular, I am very thankful to Laura and Jim McFarland for guiding me through this process. Laura is the commander here, making everything happen. I also like to wish and thank my wife, my family and friends, and colleagues for putting up with actual crazy schedules and ideas over the years. I've been asked to keep the presentation brief, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about detailed education and training and things like that. You can find that all in my bio or in Google or in Wikipedia, something like that. Today I want to focus mostly on Delco and Upper Darby High. I was born about a block from here, right down the street, I think it's in that direction, at Delaware County Memorial Hospital. And most of my time I've spent in Drexel Hill, around the Gariford area, growing up. I attended St. Charles Elementary School prior to going to Upper Darby High. Although my academic travels have taken me around the world, I still call Delco my home. Looking over the list of inductees, they represent entertainers, academics, sports figures, business entrepreneurs, just to mention a few. In addition, if you look around your classrooms where you all are sitting now, you're probably sitting in seats where they all once sat. So today, like my times, life is hard, and in many ways, choices are difficult. Although I like playing varsity football and had the opportunity for scholarships considering the wear and tear on my body at this age, I'm quite glad that I didn't pursue that career. Also, I thought about being a professional musician due to the notable musicians in this area. In this regard, I played in the same venue as Jim Croce, who was one of the first inductees in the Hall of Fame. And I did studio work with Val Shively, who was also in the Hall of Fame recently. Although our group was the house band at the RCA Pavilion at the World's Fair in 1964 and 1965, we actually thought we had made it. However, that lifestyle was not suitable for raising a family and doing other things in life that most of us like to do. So, Upper Darby provided me the foundation for the scientific and academic pathway that I chose. Life is about preparation and opportunity. Upper Darby High School provided the preparation, and when the opportunities came along, I was prepared to take them. At the university, my advisor and I decided that since all mammals came from the ocean, and if we could find the right inert liquid with high solubility for oxygen and carbon dioxide, which we all need, it would be possible to dive to great depths without decompression sickness. We demonstrated and published that work, but my advisor did not want to be the first to try it out. Turns out that James Cameron used this technology in his book and movie, The Abyss, as well as Dan Brown used it in his book, The Lost Symbol, and the movie, which is currently being performed now or on TV. Rather than using this technology for unusual environments, I turned my attention to helping preterm infants. As you know, we spend 9 months in fluid and breathing liquid when we're in the uterus. However, preterm babies are born before their lungs are ready to breathe gases. So I thought it made sense to start these infants out breathing inert liquid, which their bodies were more used to. And then when their lungs developed, they would be prepared to breathing gases. I led the first study for human infants breathing liquids, and it's being explored for numerous medical applications as we speak. Direct administration of drugs, gene products delivered to the lungs, chemotherapeutic approaches for cancer, and right now for COVID treatment, which is somewhat of a problem. So here it is. Time goes by fast, and you need to explore your opportunities while you're in a rich environment. Find your passion, find out how to pursue it, and never, never give up or give in. Thank you all.
Afternoon. My name is Bob Dampman. I'm the librarian here at Upper Darby High School and a proud member of the Upper Darby High School class of 1972. It was 50 years ago that the next inductee and our classmates, we were in our senior year here at Upper Darby. This afternoon, Upper Darby salutes Mr. Chuck Dixon, class of 1972, and proudly inducts him into the Wall of Fame. And in honor of his penchant for wearing Hawaiian shirts, I am wearing one in his honor today, since he can't be with us in person. Chuck attended Garriford Elementary, Drexel Hill Junior High, and Upper Darby High School. Chuck excelled in art here and was involved in set design for the plays, even though we didn't have an auditorium. We did it at Beverly Hills. And so he is art editor, notably for the school newspaper, The Acorn. Chuck was thankful to fulfill his math credit as a junior very cleverly and focus on his art under the guidance of teacher Judson Snyder. At UDHS, he was well known for his comics in The Acorn, which was published every week. During our high school years from 1969 to 72, we witnessed the tearing down of the former 1925 stone school building, massive new construction activities, including the building of this Performing Arts Center, and indoor and outdoor walking detours. And by the way, the up and down stairways were introduced 50 years ago. With all this going on, there's no shortage of material for Chuck to comment on his comics each week. After leaving Upper Darby High School, Chuck received a lukewarm reception in his art, and he turned to writing. After penning a couple of children's books under various pen names, Chuck turned to his first love, comic books, where he finally found a home for all of his crazy ideas. Fast forward now, with 50,000 pages of comics written and over 2,500 individual issues, he is the most prolific author of funny books in American history. He's recognized long for his association with his long association with Batman and co-creator of the villain Bane. Now, did you know that Bane was popularized the current trend of wearing masks? Because it completely, in this character, it completely covers his his nose, mouth, and chin. Well, Chuck Dixon, he has a loyal fan base on YouTube and Facebook. And Chuck, you've written 50,000 pages, and I get 2 pages with which to introduce you. So please join me in congratulating Chuck Dixon, who is joining us from Florida.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. Bob, you dragged me kicking and screaming into this. So it took me a number of years. To get up on this Wall of Fame, and it's a great honor to be remembered by the old school. Although Dr. Schaefer is a tough act to follow. I mean, he deals in the real world. He saved real lives. My job is basically making stuff up. And I got a lot of practice of that in high school. I got lots of encouragement from art teachers and the English teachers, because, I was a storyteller. And so they could relate to me. The rest of the teachers pretty much tolerated me. But they did say things like, pay attention and stop daydreaming. So lucky for me, I managed to turn daydreaming into a paying gig. But I realize now that my fellow students at Upper Darby were my first real audience, for my comics, because I had that weekly strip in the Acorn. And I would get feedback, criticism, praise, comments. And, it meant a lot to me because, up to that point, mostly made for my own amusement or, passed around in class when the teacher wasn't looking. I owe it to the Hill for that first, push toward the career that I fell into and that I love so much. And so for that and this inclusion on the Wall of Fame, I want to thank the committee. I want to thank the faculty and students. And Bob, thanks a lot. Laura, thank you as well. And you all have my fondest and humblest regards. See you in the funny books.
Now that's a tough act to follow. Wow. My name is Cheryl Macklin. Good afternoon, everyone. Over my 35 years of teaching at Upper Darby, I started at the Drexel Hill Junior High, which became the middle school, and ended up at the high school. I was blessed because of that to coach Andrea Bradley in both the junior high and the high school. So we today salute Miss Andrea Bradley, class of 1984, and proudly induct her into the Wall of Fame. Ange grew up in the Drexel Hill area of Upper Darby and actually went to Garretford and Westbrook Park, Drexel Hill Junior High, and the high school. She was a three-sport athlete here, playing field hockey, basketball, and lacrosse. She was a member of 2 Pennsylvania State final teams in field hockey. She credits her junior high and high school coaches, as well as her teammates, for developing her love of sport, confidence, and skills. Ange received a full scholarship to play field hockey at the University of Delaware, where she has been inducted into their athletic Wall of Fame. She coached at several colleges and has been at Syracuse University for the past 14 seasons. She has a combined overall win percentage of 0.77. At Syracuse, she led her team to their first national championship, as well as several conference championships. She has helped develop Olympians, All-Americans, and academic All-Americans. Ange received ACC Coach of the Year honors in 2015, was awarded Big East Coach of the Year 4 times, and amassed a 31-5 record in Big East Conference play. Despite all of her successes, Ange is most proud of her Delco roots and the strong connections that bind her to Upper Darby. Please join me in congratulating Miss Andrea Bradley, who is joining us from Syracuse, New York.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name's Ange Bradley, and Laura, I want to thank you for putting this all together and putting up with all the changes and everything like that. I really appreciate it. And to my fellow inductees, congratulations. And it's an honor to be inducted with all of you. And to the committee, we really appreciate, or I really appreciate you taking the time to think of me for this honor. And to my coach, Cheryl Macklin, thank you for nominating me. My experience, unlike the other two, I grew up in Drexel Hill. Well, we all did that. And I like Thomas, was down in the St. Charles Parish. I lived near Garretford. I went to Garretford Elementary School. And I came from a family of 9. And that in itself taught me a lot of lessons about working in a team. And as we all experienced, being one of about 3,000 students in Upper Darby, we understood we were a small and diverse city of students. And the size and volume of that school taught me how to survive, figure things out on my own. The simple things that we've all experienced, getting through the crowds and the stairwells, navigating traffic flow in the hallway with the always open locker, and finding a way to make it from wood shop to the gym or another classroom all the way across. It was a great thing for me, and one of the greatest things I learned from that school, from my high school, is how to get along with people who are different than me. And my experience at Upper Darby made me realize that as different as we all were, we were all the same. And we all found a way to live together and managed to be able to survive, to take a sports analogy, survive and advance. And my experience in high school, I will always go back to it. Like Dr. Schaefer said, I've traveled the world through sport. I've been blessed. And I always call Delco, Upper Darby, my home. In fact, I just bought a house there. I can't wait to retire from coaching and get back to my home. And my experience as a three-sport athlete at Upper Darby, I played field hockey, basketball, and lacrosse. And for me, sport was an opportunity to go to college and gain experiences beyond my family's financial means. I have my best friends in the world were my teammates, and we backed ourselves all the time, and we just wanted to win. Um, my love of sport wouldn't have been possible without great coaches, and I was blessed to have coaches who pushed me, cared about me as a person, and challenged me to be better and held me accountable. They gave me space to fail, which I did many times. And with each failure, they were there for me and my teammates, teaching, correcting, and encouraging behavioral changes. I often wondered why and how, but now as a coach and a teacher, I understand that they were teachers at heart and had great care for us as people. The women who helped me along the way, my late head field hockey coach, Diane Fisher, she was an amazing woman, tough, fair, and funny. I only wanted to perform for her. Ruth Ann Butler was my junior high coach, and she was a tough, caring woman who pushed me to do more than I felt capable. Jean Smith, we called her Smitty. She always made us laugh. She was a great coach. And Karen Bosch, who was my basketball, softball coach, always made me think about how we worked. We would do whatever we could as teammates and athletes to get praises from our coaches. We wanted to make them proud of us and just get a good job. And it was just awesome to have these women in my life. And the one teacher and coach who really helped me the most was Cheryl Macklin. She was my junior high school coach and high school field hockey and lacrosse coach. Off the field, we'd often spend time walking and talking. She encouraged me and taught me how to accept praise and grow in my self-confidence, self-love, and self-esteem. And she would challenge me to self-reflect. And when I do reflect, I understood that she gave me the skills of the greatest gift in life. When you can know yourself, you can conquer anything. And Cheryl, I thank you for that. And in closing, as a Division I head field hockey coach at Syracuse, I've taken a little piece of each of my coaches and carried them with me along the way. And I can't be more grateful to the high school that taught me everything. And as I'm in the twilight of my coaching career, I want to offer the words of encouragement. Trust that the experiences this high school offers you will prepare you for whatever is next. You have the opportunity to learn to find your way despite any odds and realize you are more similar to the people around you than different. And at the end of the day, we are all from Upper Darby, loyal, hardworking people who survive and advance and pounce on an opportunity when presented. Thank you again, and I appreciate it. And congratulations again to my fellow inductees.
Good afternoon, everyone. Upper Darby High School salutes Greg Lingo, class of 1990. Greg grew up in the Beverly Hills section of Upper Darby, attending Bywood Elementary School, Highland Park Elementary School, and Beverly Hills Middle School. He was youngest of 3 boys. His older brothers Drew, class of 84, and Doug, class of 87, preceded him at Upper Darby High School. While at UDHS, Greg was a 3-sport captain in football, basketball, and baseball. He was also a member of the student council and excelled as a student. Greg had a strong interest in science in high school. Greg then went on to continue his education at Cornell University in Ithaca, New York, where he earned a Bachelor of Science in Civil and Environmental Engineering in May of 1994. He was the recipient of several scholarships along the way. He played varsity baseball and football at the Division I level while at Cornell and was inducted into the Sphinx Head Senior Honor Society. Greg continued his education at Villanova University, receiving a Master's of Business Administration, concentration in marketing in 2000. Greg started his first business in 7th grade. Greg is a serial entrepreneur. He has started over 75 partnerships and companies since then, focusing on real estate development, financial services, and entertainment. His company, Rockwell Custom Homes, is located in Media, Pennsylvania. He was selected as a finalist for the Ernst & Young Young Entrepreneur Award, and he was also named the Smart CEO Magazine CEO of the Year. What is perhaps most amazing about Greg is that Greg does all of these amazing things, and he does it with making things better in mind. A former coach who many of us know would often say the adage, "I'll block, you run, together we both win." And Greg has provided countless opportunities for so many people. Greg has supported a scholarship for students at Upper Darby High School given every year since 1998. He has developed a SAT prep program for our students. In addition, Greg, if you were to ask him, would be most proud of his 2016 Service to Children Award that was presented by the Upper Darby School District. In addition, Greg Lingo is the best childhood friend and neighbor anyone could have. Being 5 houses away, I know. Please let us congratulate Mr. Greg Lingo.
Thank you, Dave, for the warm welcome. That was really great. I am really honored to be inducted in the Wall of Fame. For me, this is pretty unimaginable achievement. I grew up just on the other side of Nailers Run Park, and I can remember walking to school, to and from school every day, and I was plotting, as soon as I got my diploma, I was going to get out of here, and I was trying to get my plan on how to do that, and ironically, once I made it out, I came right back. And that's because Upper Darby, to me, is home. Honors like this celebrate individuals, but I know that I'm here because people put me in a position to be here. I was very fortunate. I had a childhood coach that became my high school football coach, and Jack Shingle, that really changed the trajectory of my life. I had a hardworking dad. I had a mother who taught us how to think, a great group of friends, and a fully supportive and beautiful wife that shined her light on me when we were only teenagers and continues to do that every day for me. And that support's been great. So I left Upper Darby, went to school in upstate New York, and then came right back to Delaware County to raise our family. And it kind of clicked one day just shortly after we graduated college. My wife and I were talking about just how lucky we were to have had the support of people that we didn't know. And at that point, we kind of, that I guess really ignited us into trying to pay that forward. So from that point, we wanted to kind of help kids. We organized a little bit of a scholarship here at the school, but then we wanted to help more kids, so I went back to my friends at Upper Darby, football friends, teachers, and coaches, and we started a little tutoring and mentoring program for the kids. And then I was introduced to the Upper Darby Arts and Education Foundation and some of the programs that they offer for the kids. And for us, it's really, we know that Upper Darby is full of talented kids that have many of the same hopes and dreams that we had, and we want all of those kids to know that they have a chance. And that's why I keep coming back. I'd like to briefly touch on a couple of kind of guiding foundations for me, and it's failure. We heard a little bit about that today, faith and character. So failure in itself is, a pretty negative word, but I've lost and failed many times in life, and the important thing is, and you learn it here, you learn it at Upper Darby, kind of that grit, that pick yourself back up, work harder, learn a lesson from when you failed. I've started companies and sold companies, but I've also quit jobs and gotten fired from jobs. And last year, or earlier this year, I had the opportunity to release a movie, and it was great fun working on it and collaborating with friends that I grew up with here, as well as producers. And then it became time for the critics. And people called me and said, I love it, and people called me and said, I absolutely hate it. And that those reactions kind of remind me that you can't let that negativity or the bumps in the road kind of prevent you from being your best. And that's where faith comes in for me, where faith to me is the belief that you will be okay no matter how things turn out and whether or not there are bumps in the road. And then there's character. Character is kind of interesting because you're going to hear, whenever you bump into people, they kind of tell you who they are and what they're about. And in high school, for me, I started formulating the ideas of who I was and what I wanted to be. But surprisingly, in life, you only have a couple of chances where how you defined yourself is actually tested. And to me, that character is how you handle that test. So I again, thank everyone for this honor. I share it with a lot of people. I share it with my wife and my children and all those that support me, many of my friends that are here today. For the students who are out there listening, I want you to remember you're going to be an alum of Upper Darby far longer than you were a student here. And it's up to you to kind of reach back and help those other kids get back and give back. And it doesn't have to be money. It can be time, effort, just take an interest in kids. I would also remind you not to be afraid to fail, and remember and keep in mind that you're going to be remembered for what you gave, not necessarily what you have. But thank you so much for the honor. I really appreciate it.
Good afternoon. My name is Kelsey Bierling, and while I'm currently the boys track coach from 1996 to 1999, I had the pleasure of working with this next wonderful young woman. Vivacious, fun-loving, and focused, our next honoree approached everything in life with purpose and a smile, and she continues to do so today. Upper Darby High School salutes Miss Khadija Sharif, class of 1999. Khadija was born in Zanzibar, Tanzania, and came to the United States when she was 9 years old. She entered Upper Darby High School as a 10th grader and made an immediate impact, becoming involved in soccer, basketball, track and field, and choir. Khadija excelled in track, especially in the hurdles, and received a full athletic scholarship to Bucknell University, where she majored in international relations and economics. After graduation, Khadija returned to the area to work for several nonprofit organizations, as well as supporting the community through activism. She continued her education at the University of Pennsylvania, earning a master's in international educational development in 2012. Khadija and her family moved back to Zanzibar in 2013, where she continues to work with nonprofits and the community organizations there. She is currently the head of programs for the Malali Zanzibar Foundation, a local charity which focuses on building sustainable development and accelerating the progress in rural and remote areas through education, health, and livelihoods. In addition, Khadija also supports the empowerment of horticultural and seaweed farmers and promotes overall economic development of women in the islands. She also sits on the board of the Ange project, where she has taught over 10,000 young men and women, boys and girls, survival swimming skills. Please join us in congratulating Ms. Khadija Sharif, who is joining us from Zanzibar.
Hello. I hope you can hear me, and greetings from Zanzibar. For those of you who don't know, Zanzibar is a small island on the Indian Ocean on the eastern coast of Tanzania or Africa. If you have heard in the news this year, there's actually a Nobel Prize for literature went to Abdul Razak Gurna. He's also from Zanzibar. So if you're interested in literature, please check him out and you'll learn a lot about Zanzibar. It is such an honor and a privilege, actually, to be on this platform with these amazing individuals. I don't even know where to start, but first and foremost, I would love to thank the committee at Upper Darby High School, as well as all of those people behind the scenes who have made this event possible. Creating this opportunity, especially for the students who are there now, to be able to see and listen and hear from those who have passed through those same halls and where they have reached today. It's incredible. And thank you so much to Coach Bierling for that wonderful introduction and for nominating me and for remembering me and for seeing value in me. And you may not know, but and as a 10th grader, when I started Upper Darby and started running, you were one of the people who really pushed me to see my potential, to realize what it was that I could do. And within those 3 years, I was able to grow so much and be able to even gain a scholarship to go to Bucknell to run. I remember every time I fell off of those hurdles, you helped me to see that every fall was actually a way for me to get stronger. So thank you so much for your nomination. And of course, thank you to my parents who are out there watching somewhere in the world. For them, I mean, I know it's a cliche, but without them, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't have been able to go to school at Upper Darby High School. It is something that sounds, but it's actually a big deal. Upper Darby High School is an amazing institution, an amazing program that's developing young leaders, all of and young people in so many different ways, and it's prepared me to be where I am today. And so I'm so I'm so happy to be here. And to be able to be joining amongst these my fellow inductees in the Wall of Fame. I think you are all amazing, all of your bios and everything that I'm hearing. I just can't even imagine being able to achieve all that you have. So congratulations to you all. What can I say? I think for me, I would leave, maybe for the students out there who are listening. I know that right now we are in unprecedented times. We are experiencing, global pandemics. We are, constantly hearing about threats and crises. I had learned recently of a metaphor that likened life to farming, where you can grow soil or you can grow plants. And growing plants is what we often do daily, what we're often busy doing, trying to impress and trying to do things for other people and trying to make sure that we get seen and we get noticed and recognized. That's what we spend a lot of our time doing. And oftentimes it's fleeting, it's temporary. But growing soil is something that goes beneath the surface and targets the foundation and looks at nurturing relationships and looks at the important things that can make the plants that we're trying to grow actually grow even more fruitful and more bountiful. And I think in this day and age, it's important for us as we plant, as we grow plants, that we also grow our soil to make sure that we have lasting impact in the work that we're doing. And I also invite all of you to come to Zanzibar and join me in the work that I'm doing to try and help people here to be able to get the basic education and healthcare and livelihoods that they need. So thank you so much, and please reach out. Thank you.
My name is Mike Kornecko. I taught technology education here at Upper Darby for 34 years. I was also a track coach, bowling coach, SAT, whatever they wanted. I did that. I am very proud to come back here and salute Miss Grace O'Connell, class of 2000. Grace grew up in the Penn Pines section of the district and attended Upper Darby schools all 12 years. She attended both Westbrook Park and Primos Elementary and Drexel Hill Middle School before coming here to Upper Darby High School. Grace was active in athletics, playing field hockey, lacrosse, and swimming. Grace's favorite subjects here were math and science, as well as hands-on electives, my classes, CAD class and engineering design. Outside of school, Grace took flying lessons, solidifying her major in aerospace engineering at the University of Maryland. Grace continued her academic studies at the University of Pennsylvania, receiving a PhD in bioengineering, focusing on the material behavior of the human spine. She then worked as a postdoctoral research fellow at Columbia University before becoming a professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering at the University of California, Berkeley. Her current research has focused on biomaterials and studying the impact of disease on musculoskeletal tissue behavior. Grace is currently the Associate Dean for Inclusive Excellence. She is active in outreach activities that aim to diversify the engineering workforce for women and people of color, a cause near and dear to my heart. Grace also does outreach work with local high schools to expose them to possible careers in engineering. Her father and stepmom are here with us today, and Grace is joining us from California. Please join us in congratulating Miss Grace O'Connell.
Okay, it's a huge honor for me to be selected for the Upper Darby Wall of Fame and for my father to accept this award on my behalf, as he has always encouraged me to learn more about how the world works, a key value for a research scientist such as myself. When I think back to being a student at Upper Darby, I think very fondly about the excellent education that I received and the unique opportunities that I had access to, from learning drafting and design skills in Mr. C's engineering class to fixing a 4-stroke engine in my engines class. With all of these experiences and more, it may be no wonder that I continued my education by earning an engineering degree. My career in engineering has provided me with many opportunities to solve challenging problems while traveling the world to learn new perspectives on how other people approach the same types of problems that we all face. As a professor of mechanical engineering at UC Berkeley in sunny California, many of my actions and work still stem from the values that I learned during my time at Upper Darby. One of the things that I didn't truly appreciate while I was a student was the diversity of the student body. All of the different backgrounds, cultures, and nationalities under one roof. I learned so much from my high school peers about how to see and experience the world in different ways. Even today, I embody these values by seeking out different perspectives on problems to work towards innovative solutions. The problems that I spend most of my time working on revolve around how engineers can help solve medical challenges like osteoarthritis or lower back pain, the two most common causes for physical disabilities as we age. However, the other joy in my career comes from educating the next generation of engineers, like some of the students listening today, to encourage them to put their whole self in tackling the biggest problems that we face in society and to help build a brighter future for all of us. I want to thank my parents, Yeshi and David O'Connell, and my husband, Nathan Bartley, for their endless support, and my younger sister, Roxanne O'Connell, who's always been my biggest cheerleader. Without their support, I would not be here speaking with you today and being inducted into the Wall of Fame. Lastly, I would like to thank the Wall of Fame committee and thank you all for this wonderful honor.
We'll have one more round of applause for our inductees. Thank you all for coming. Thank you to the concert choir. Thank you to the administration for supporting this continually. And we always invite the inductees back for, except for this year, for future inductions. So please come back and support our alumni. Have a great day. Thanks for coming.
What is this which morning sunlight gilds with golden beams? 'Tis our Upper Darby High School, castle of our dreams.